All right, you guys, today is really serious. Every day is stop accepting scraps. I just woke up at like 5 in the morning and this was playing in my head. And I was like, enough is enough. It's really important that you choose to commit. This is your life, not anybody else's, that you choose to commit to stop accepting scraps. S.A.S. It was like S.O.S. S.O.S. When they send that out, like search and rescue, like come on out and let's get serious because you're worth this. You're worth more than scraps. You are worth more than scraps. Again, I could spend this whole video saying you are worth more than scraps. But where is that going to get us if I'm just telling you this, right? So what I did, is I took my notebook and I wrote down all of the scraps. I just started naming the scraps that I have seen in other people's lives and in my own life, okay? And so I'm gonna go through this list for us, but it's not to be legalistic like this is your list, okay? It's just to understand these are things I have identified. I've been a psychologist for over 20 years and I got my doctorate for 9 years before that. So I would say 30 years is a lot of studying this, and more than that. I've studied more than that. Now, don't misthink. I encourage you can do whatever you want, but I encourage you, don't misthink that just because I'm sitting here and this doesn't look like a professional video and blah blah blah, that this is scraps. This is what our mind will do. It runs to what's appealing and what has this big production value. But I have this experience, and I don't have experience doing TV stuff, right? And I've been doing these videos for 3 years, so I know what I'm talking about. But I don't have to prove anything to you, right? All we're going to do is go through these scraps so that you can identify them, so you can save time, save 30 years of your life, so you don't have to go through these, right? Stop accepting scraps. So I'm going to encourage you to challenge yourself without judgment. Challenge yourself on these, but don't judge yourself. If you identify these scraps in your life, then identifying them is going to be enough for right now, right? Just have awareness. Have awareness, and awareness changes everything, right? And I kept thinking, maybe because I was thinking the S, stop accepting scraps. I was thinking of salmon, how they swim upstream. Scraps, if you understand it, is like the system of Babylon. Scraps is what this world will keep telling you to run after. They keep saying, buy this product and everything will be better, right? Okay, and so I'll just start naming the scraps and then we'll go into some of this other stuff, but I don't want to make this long. Okay, unavailable people, scraps. People that aren't available, that pretend like they're available, but they are not, let them go. You're worth more, okay? I welcome all religions, but if you understand Christianity, I was raised that way. And I know Christ well, and I love Christ, but you don't have to at all. But if you want to understand it, if you came from that background at all, scraps is a fake religion. Okay, so fake religion is scraps, but Christ was never showing anything fake. He was always authentic. And so when he said, for God so loved the world, people hold up that sign, John 3:16. It's like that he gave his only son. So I could just hold on to that and say, wait, that's not scraps. What Christ came here to teach me and to show me and to do for me, to do for the whole world, to offer, that's not scraps, okay? So if you want to just understand in the back of your mind, someone was showing something different than scraps. These things are scraps. How do I reconcile that, right? Okay, so unavailable people, scraps. Pornography, having these fake relationships with people online that you're paying for or not paying for or getting for free, that's scraps. You are worth more than scraps. Any kind of addiction is scraps. Obsessing over problems, staying in my mind, that's giving myself scraps. Gossiping about other people, you get a high over feeling superior over other people, that's scraps. And part of the word scraps is crap. You're offering yourself crap. I was meditating outside just now, and I was sitting there, and I was like, there's all my sweet dog, right? There's a bunch of crap out there, and I was like, oh, that's what this is. S.A.S. Stop accepting scraps, okay? You understand what I'm saying, right? Overeating or being intemperate in any way, that's scraps. All right. And so when we're used to wanting to go to loving parents, but our parents are not there, we're used to this message to us that you're not worth real love. You're not worth high consciousness. You're not worth someone taking the time to do the inner work to give you real love. Well, you're doing the inner work right now. This video is you doing the inner work, not just listening to me, but writing down your own scraps that you've been running to that you don't want to run to anymore, right? It's a new day. We have a new day, so it's a gift. This day is a gift, all right? Okay, so judging, putting down others, scraps. Overeating or being intemperate, that's taking the immediate gratification instead of delaying gratification for the greater reward that's more remote. Look up the word temperance. You can understand what this is. Okay. False spirituality, running for spiritual highs, like new age stuff, tarot, crystals, psychics, all that stuff from what I've experienced is scraps. It's just trying to get another spiritual high, and it's scraps. I'm not trying to offend anybody. I'm just going to call that scraps. In my own life, it led to a lot of heartache and brokenness and opening spiritual doors that I wasn't meant to open up. Any of that I engaged in before. I got an email yesterday, and it just reminded me to speak out on those things, right? So this is a system of scraps that we got from childhood. This is how we got accustomed to scraps. That's why I'm just identifying them. Running to shortcuts, scraps. Making excuses for ourselves and others, scraps. We have excuses. Stop making them. Stop indulging in excuses. Insisting that the other person changes, like you have to change. When my voice is escalating and I'm trying to get someone else to change, or running after someone and telling them how they have to change, you don't have to change. Nobody else has to change. Look, if one finger is pointing out, 3 or 4 are pointing back at you. This is where you have the power, right here. Take yourself with God, be present with God, learn how to go into the silence. Stop trying to change other people. That is a repetition of childhood, which is scraps, trying to get an unavailable parent to show up for us in this world, blaming it on other people, that's scraps. Tearing yourself down is scraps. So it's not about tearing yourself down. Running from one high to another, scraps. Yeah, insisting on the other person changing. Waiting for everybody else to be the good parent in your life equals scraps, all right? Going to bed late, because I go to bed late sometimes. I wrote that down. That's scraps. That's just that's robbing from myself. Any way of robbing from myself is giving myself scraps. It's repeating my childhood, right? Running after others' approval, that's scraps, right? I don't need other people's approval. It's me with God. Other people, wise people that show good fruit in their lives can have good counsel in my life. Those people have earned their ways in my life, right? Over time, they've shown good fruit, right? Not trusting divine love, aka God, equals scraps. Not trusting the real, true, loving God. Not someone's made up version of that. But be quiet inside and seek first the kingdom of God, and then all these other things shall be added unto you. Running after money, scraps. Running after Things, scraps. Accumulating things, scraps. Caking my face with makeup and trying to get my approval for that, scraps. Following my flesh and not the divine path, God's true way, equals scraps. God is divine love. Running after the world instead of cultivating a life of prayer and silence with God, scraps. Okay, and then so what I put on the other side of that is how the solution is easy. It's the first commandment. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength, and love your neighbor as yourself. And you are one of those people to love. Challenge yourself without judgment. God, when I love God with all my heart, soul, mind, and strength, God never, ever, ever is leading me to scraps. He's always leading me away from these destructive people and toxic people and people that are unavailable and people that are invested in scraps in their own life. Let them go. Let them go. Ask God to give you wisdom. Ask God to direct you. Be aware. Don't reject yourself. I put eat less, walk more, pray more, exercise your body, give to those in true need. I wish you so much love. I'm going to end this at this.